We're mic'd up.
Nice.
Yeah, this is a professional.
Is this the Ulti-World stream?
No, this is the Brown, the BMO stream setup.
Are you streaming?
Yeah.
Are you streaming it for the team? Nice.
So,
But anyone back home you want to pass on the
Kyle's a
link to?
Paideia grad.
Yeah.
He went and won national championship with BMO back in the day.
Nice.
2000, yeah, that's right.
I'm Brad.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Are you a parent here?
Yeah. David Dorff is mine.
Okay.
And he's also a Paideia grad.
Oh yeah. What's
Oh, he
He
is.
is number 0. Okay.
Yeah.
He will, based on the score, he will either get it or not. Yeah.
Did you send that to Veal also? Will you send it to me so I can send it to Veal?
Yeah, I'll send you. Do I have your number?
I'll give it to you with it. 404.
We'll see. Hold on. Yep. 404. Keep going. Harper said he was gonna give me one.
Okay. He's in the
Here, what's your number? 444? Yep.
456.
456. Oh, I got you. I had you.
Oh, good.
You just have to click the live stream button on the top once you get to that site.
There's also like a link to something else, so I should be able to pass on. That's easier.
You know what? I think I got it.
Okay,
Leslie
great.
sent it around.
People.
Yeah, we've told the coach and other folks, so that yeah, you guys, word's out, word's on the street.
Oh, we got 11 tuning in.
Are we on?
Time 57. We might be on. I think I'm muted. And now I'm unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Hey folks, if you're just joining us, thanks for tuning in. It's 9:57, 3 minutes away from game time start. This is the Brown Alumni Network. We're on the Georgia sideline, and it's Brown versus Georgia, semifinal action.
Yeah, really very exciting game here. These two teams have played twice this year. Once in the fall at CCC in the finals of CCC, and then once in the finals of warm-up. They've split those two matchups 1-1.
We know
This is a frenemy type team. I feel like at least while we were at school, we definitely had a great relationship with Georgia. They have a standout season this year though, Ben. Two
35-2 from what I saw.
It was interesting talking to the coach. You know, they're like, yeah, we split games this season, but that was their only win that Georgia's had against Brown in a long time.
Yeah.
That they can remember. Brown has been pretty dominant in this matchup for the last few years.
It looks like Brown's going to start on O. We'll do our best with the Georgia names. We got a roster, and we got some insight on who the top guys are.
Were you asking about a player?
Sorry?
Were you asking about a player?
Oh, I wasn't, but
Sorry, okay.
yeah. In any case, so Brown's going to start on offense. We've got Henry, Jacques, Jason, Yut, Luca, Leo, and Cal. And for Georgia, I'm just going to read numbers that I can see. We've got 18. Actually, 18 is Adam Goldstein. We've got number 6, Aiden Downey. Those are two of their top guys. We know that. And also 20, Scotty Whitley. We heard about him. So Georgia's got a lot of their top guys out here to start the game. Also number 16, 33-36.
Aiden Downey is their Callahan nominee. He's in the top 5 for Callahan. Fantastic player. I've also heard he's got great vibes in the field. People really like him. He's definitely a player to watch out for. He's wearing those khaki pants. Number 6, hand up, tall guy.
Shout out to Justin Safdie. Thank you for the phone donation. We heard the stream is a lot clearer this round. The weather is pretty good so far. It's a light rain, not very windy.
Yeah, I looked at the lightning strike map, and it looks like we might be able to get through this round without any trouble. Like, there doesn't seem like, I mean, we might get more rain. Rain's definitely on the way.
Yeah.
But it looks like the biggest storms are definitely heading south of here in the Chicagoland area.
That's great because 2 days ago, the repeated interruptions due to lightning were very frustrating. Here we go, number 6 on Georgia for the opening pull of this quarterfinal matchup. It's an outside and backhand pull. It's going to be fielded on a couple of hops by Elliott, centering to Jacques. BMO's in their side stack with Leo in the lane. Jacques zips it over to Yut. Yut looking up to Luca. Brown's cross midfield, as indicated by the white stripe on the field. Swing to Yut, guarded by 18. That's Adam Goldstein. Yes, Adam Goldstein. Leo with the disc. Leo looking to Jason, to Yut. Yut to Jacques with the lefty grab. Jacques looking for the next throw, finds Yut. Yut looking for Leo, looking. Now he swings it to Cal. Cal makes the grab. Cal going no gloves here. Love it. To Yut on the goal line. Yut looking for Leo. He's going to look for Jacques for his reset now. Wave him away. Stall count rising. Going with the scooper to Leo, who rises up for the grab with the one hand. Brown with the opening hold of the game. It's 1-0 BMO.
Yeah, this game looks like it could be exciting. Georgia comes out with a person-to-person defense there, man-to-man. Really interested to watch what happens with that Downey-Jacques Neeson matchup. Jacques was pretty silent on that point. Got this once, I think, on the break side. Ended up as a reset, and we didn't even get looked at when he was on the reset. That should definitely be a matchup to keep an eye on there, see what Jacques can do against Downey if they keep putting Downey on him.
Running out for O on Georgia, I see number 5, Cole Chandler. Number 13, Jake Powell. We heard about him. We got 6, Aiden Downey, as Kyle was just talking about his defense. Number 20, Scotty Whitley. And also number 30, that would be Cole. And for Brown, out on D, Oscar Lowe, Amrik Adara, Zach Kaufman, Eli Chang, the freshman with the pull, Emmett Young, Jason Tapper, and Adrian Lynn. Expect this line to possibly throw zone. We'll see. Here we go. Browns up 1-0. Georgia, first O point for them. 13 with the disc. Rick on the mark. Jason Tapper on the mark. Georgia crosses midfield. Oscar on the mark. Georgia looking. The wind is gusting now. The wind is really gusting, and the upside down swing is dug out of the turf by 13. Great grab, and he's going to put the outside and backhand past the bidding Jason Tapper, and Georgia punches it in on offense to make it 1-1. Dicey there.
Yeah, you know what I want to say. That's what I want to see. I have not seen a lot of layout bids, and even though I think Tapper was a ways off from that play, I like that he put himself out there for that.
Yeah,
I think that bodes well for the energy that's coming in this game. I like Oscar Lowe and Downey out there. That definitely forced that really difficult scooper catch they had to make. That was not as clean a hold for Georgia as Brown's hold was. Definitely a little more pressure there. I like that they came out man-to-man to start the game as well. I think that bodes well. I would like to see that line come out again. I think that's a great man-to-man line for Brown.
The wind has picked up here. It's blowing towards us and also from our left to our right. So both offenses are going downwind to start the game. Expect the defenses to try to use the wind to their advantage. On the line for Brown, Jason, Henry, Yut, Leo, Luca, Jacques, and Cal. Out there for Jojah, we got 6, Aiden Downey, 18, Adam Goldstein, 20 is Scotty. Wow. Here we go, number 36 with the pull. Yut lets it fall, picks it up, centers to Jacques. Brown in a horizontal stack. Jacques puts it deep to Leo. That's a well-weighted throw. Oh, and Leo makes the grab. He's in for the goal as Downey almost got that.
Did Downey get a piece of that? I think Downey might have just touched it.
I thought I saw the disc flutter as he dove.
If so, great focus by Leo. Great bid from Aiden Downey there, and great shot from Jacques. All that was very exciting. Interesting though, they switched up Downey's matchup there. Downey had played on Jacques Neeson the first point, plays on Leo in the second point.
Jacques with that edge control we've talked about, had that backhand coming in fairly sharply.
Yeah, and also really, I mean, that was against a straight up mark, so like had to put out some space to make that work as well.
I think those guys thought he floated it a little bit.
We thought
so. We think he got a little piece of that one. Not a lot, but I think he got his hand on it.
66 on the stream. Thanks for joining.
I bet it sounds like we might have some Georgia fans on the stream.
Some Georgia fans.
Try to give you a little something what you want to. Downey out here for his 4th consecutive point. I'm a little surprised they bring him out for the first 2 D-line points, right? Like that. I don't know how much weight they're going to put on him in this game.
Also got Whitley and Goldstein out there. And 23 and 5. That's Chandler, Cole Chandler, and Jack Krugler. Here we go. Eli Chang, the freshman, with the pull for Brown. That's going to turn over and stay in bounds. Fielded by Downey.
Good hang time on that pull.
Great
for Brown.
hang time. That was Eli's best pull of the weekend, I
think it was, yeah.
Emmett on the mark. Yutt on the mark as Scotty's got the disc, the lefty flick. Eli's on the mark. Jojah close to midfield here. It's a backhand force from Brown, I think because of the wind. Yutt on the mark. Flick reset. Jacques on the mark. Jacques Neeson playing defense here for Brown. Omrick on the mark. Jordan in the horizontal offense. 3 handlers, 4 downfield. Brown not giving up much here.
Foul call, so this is going to come back. There's some discussion here. So foul called downfield here.
We're getting some
He
positive
opens up with
comments.
"I pushed off of you," but I think we're going to be uncontested. That was great. So Brown comes out in another man-to-man defense. I like it. We've been seeing a lot of zone looks out of Brown, but their man has some good pace on it, good pressure here, and definitely making Georgia throw it a lot back here. So good start for their defense. This is the best their defense I think has looked early in the game.
If you're just tuning in, it's 2-1 Brown. Georgia's on offense. No turns yet in the game. Omrick on the mark. 13 for Georgia with the disc. Fakes. Finds number 30. Eli on the mark.
Downey's going deep now. Oscar's got him kind of locked down though.
Scotty with the disc, marked by Yutt. Yutt takes away the around with the mark. Scotty's got to put it deep. Jacques is there. Let's see what happens. And it's caught for the goal. Great throw. 2-2.
Great throw. High stall count though. I think Brown is getting the looks they want here in that deep pressure. So, I mean, that's what you want to see. That will result in turnovers. That was an outlet pass for them. That wasn't like a game plan, set play. This is what we're looking for in offense. This is like the stall is 6, 7, 8, and their reset is cashed in already, and they've got to do something. So, way to create, way to act on the fly there for Georgia. But if Brown can continue that pressure, that's going to be tough to sustain for these guys, and we're going to get some turnovers.
Yeah, that was a great deep shot. Deep shots this game have looked good, but the rain continues to fall, so we know we're going to see some less than stellar deep throws at some point. It's 2-2 here. We're on serve, no turns. Both teams looking good. As Kyle said, the Brown man defense is looking the best it's looked all weekend. On the line now for offense for Brown. Yutt, Jason, Luca, Leo, Jacques, Henry, and Cal. Out there for Jojah.
Yeah, a lot of guys we haven't seen on the field yet, I think. So this might be a different look from Georgia. Maybe it's just a point to rest their top players.
88, Luke Cranor. 11, Carter Rather. 35, Drew Wentworth. And here's the pull from number 36.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a zone look here from Georgia with these guys on the field.
Jacques Neeson with the disc. He's got Luca going deep. He's going to find Leo coming under. Leo looking. He's got Luca. Luca makes the grab with the slide. Back to Leo. Leo looking for Cal. Cal slips. Leo finds Jacques. Jacques to Cal. Brown about 20 yards out now. Cal to Jacques on the sideline. Jacques looking. Dominator yells to Georgia sideline as it's all Brown. As it's all Jacques, Leo, and Cal for Brown right now. And a call.
Coach players deep in the end zone now. Georgia has definitely pulled people in to make that 3-person weave much more difficult. You see Henry in the back corner. He's definitely got a little space. Tapper could create a little more space from where he's at. Yutt's in the back, in the middle, and he's kind of open as well. It'll be interesting to see what Leo decides to do once we get checked in.
Disc is live. Cal Nightingale with the disc. Brown on the goal line. Cal fakes. Cal looking for Leo for his reset. Looking. He's got to throw it up. Leo makes the grab. Leo to Jacques. Brown pushed back a little now by the Jojah defense. Jacques looking. Outside in, throw to the break side to Cal. Cal to Jacques for the goal. Jock Neeson taking control. Brown holds 3-2.
Love that look from Jacques there, that OIO,
Yeah.
like that outside into the inside out lane.
Yeah.
Over to Cal,
With-
really broke that open in the end, and that was a really nice
You
throw.
see that a lot with the flick. You don't see that
Yeah,
a
the
lot with the
backhand
backhand
OIO,
on
yeah.
purpose like that. Great stuff from Jacques.
Great stuff. Again, great offense. You know, again, like their defense looking good. This is the best offense I think I've seen from Brown so
Yeah.
far, and this is what they're going to need if they want to keep pushing through this tournament, is to rise in every single game. And I like that they've started this game at that next level.
Yep, Brown seems to have leveled up here. They're going to need to do it against Georgia, who's 35-2 on the year. Came in as the 2 seed and has played well all weekend. Georgia's on offense, down 3-2. No turns yet in the game. 23 is out there for Georgia. Jack Krugler. 5. Cole Chandler. 13, Jake Powell.
This Georgia team really locally grown. A lot of these guys played together on a YCC team in 2019. They were 2019 co-champions that got canceled. The finals got canceled because of rain. But I believe there's like 6 or 7 of these guys that played on that YCC squad together.
Leo Gordon the pull for Brown. Fielded by number 30, Cole. Finding, and it's zone from Brown as called by Georgia. This is Aiden with the disc. Little hammer across the field. Adrian on the mark for Brown. Now Matthias on the mark. Matthias is going to stay on the mark. Brown's going to try to trap a little here, take away the reset, and a lefty flick, finding the popper as Georgia hits midfield here, or a little past midfield. Matthias on the mark for this 0 point for Georgia. Brown is playing zone in the rain here, but the wind has died down. Kind of gusted, and it's pretty calm again now. Krugler with the disc, as I suddenly realized that Georgia has their last names on their jerseys, which is extremely helpful. Matthias on the mark for Brown. A nice lefty flick. T's on the mark again. Hits his reset. Miller. Miller to Chandler. Up the line to Krugler. Looking end zone, and he's got it for the goal. Georgia holds.
So that's the first time we've seen Brown come out with his zone look. Georgia handles it pretty well there. I mean, it was a good number of passes. They slowed him down. Definitely gave some great time for the O-line, who was pretty much all out that point.
3-3 here.
Offense.
3-3 early action, no turns. All holds. Quarterfinals at College Nationals.
You know, games like this, this is what you play for, right? I mean, these two teams are two teams that think they have shot at a title here this week,
Yeah.
right? And they're two teams that are pretty heavily senior laden. A lot of guys graduating, the top players. You've got Callahan nominees and finalists on both sides of the roster. And at the end of the day, at the end of the game, some team's season is over and a bunch of guys' college careers are done. You know, I mean, the passion we're going to see in this game is going to be awesome. So I'm excited that both teams have started out at a high level. This is the kind of game you want at College Nationals.
Yeah, and the rain only makes it more dramatic, I think. We're going to see a lot of layouts and, you know, a lot of just crazy stuff happening. 36 for the pull with Georgia. Leo, Jacques, Luca, Henry, Jason, Yut, Cal on the line for Brown. 36 for Georgia is Zach Brennan. And Brennan's pull is a good one. It's going to carry to the far side of the field where it's going to be caught by Cal. Up to Yut. Brown coming out in spread offense. He's got Leo going deep. He's got Jack under. Jock under. He hits him. Jock to Cal. Cal looking deep. Holsters. Cal looking for an option. Cal still looking for an option. As Krugler covers Jock. Jock gets the reset from Cal. It's a backhand force here from Jojah. Jock to Leo. Guarded by Aiden. Up to Jock. Aiden had the Jock matchup early and has switched to Leo, it seems like. Cal with the disc now. Cal to Leo, who does Aiden pretty dirty there and gets it back to Cal for the goal as Aiden poaches off, nearly gets the big layup block, but not able to come up with it.
He's had a couple big bids out there, but I think Brown's getting the best of him so far, at least on these on our offensive points, which is great to see. I think Leo's really doing a great job with that matchup. I think if I were Georgia, I'd think about switching him back to Josh.
I would too, but I think Leo thrives on those big matchups.
I
He seems to
think
get
so, too.
fired up when the
Right,
other
and
team's
I
best
think
player
I
is
think it
covering
starts to
him.
drive him to work with his legs more too.
Yeah.
Which I think where Leo when Leo shines, it's when he is just plowing, like churning cut after cut, and that is what we want to see. I am excited to see a breakout game from Leo. Leo's been having, a somewhat pedestrian tournament from what I've seen of his game. So to see him really break out would be a great thing in this one.
So out there for defense on Brown. Brown's up 4-3. Still no turns in this game. We're on serve. Luca's going to cross over and play D. Yut, Amrik, Eli, Oscar, Emmett, the athletic sophomore, and Jason Tapper. Out there for Jojah, we got Scotty, number 20. We got Adam, number 18. We got Aiden, number 6, their Callahan nominee. Joined by Cole. And
Still a
Aiden's going to
turnover-free game here.
Turnover-free game. Very well played so far. Aiden's going to center the disc to 18 to Adam. Yut on the mark.
Brown back to man-to-man defense.
Luca on the mark. And here's the backhand shot to the end zone. Well weighted, and there's a goal for Jojah. Pretty easy hold.
Yeah, that was Georgia's easiest point so far, I think. You're gonna give him something like that when you go person to person. There's opportunities to eat up a lot of yards.
94 in the stream. That's our max for this weekend. Thanks for tuning in. It's 4-4. No turns yet. All holds and all clean holds.
Yeah, Georgia gotta like their offense there. That feels good for them.
The observer's kind of making calm down noises to Georgia. Don't know why, actually.
Yeah, I feel like this is let people get fired up.
Yeah, as we're hearing from the Georgia sideline over there, Aiden, their Callahan nominees, made 2 giant bids. He may have got a finger on one, but both, he was not able to prevent 2 Brown goals. Brown's offense takes the field. Elliot Rosenberg, Jason Tapper, Leo Gordon, Henry Egan, Jacques Neeson, Luca Duplo Orsello, Cal Nightingale. Out there for Georgia is Scotty Whitley. Aiden Downey's going to pull it. Here we go. Aiden with the outside in pull is going to hit the ground. He's going to try to roll it out of bounds, but Yut's going to pick it up on the roll. Center to Jacques. Brown goes for the side stack.
Luca wide open.
Wide open. A little bit of a blown
there.
coverage there. Jacques hits him with a well-weighted forehand, and Luca continues to Leo. Has to stab that with his left hand. Nice catch from Leo. Leo on the goal line in the corner. Looking. Push pass to Cal for the goal, who grins as he catches it. Brown holds 5-4 Brown.
So easy O for Georgia, and then right back at it. Easy O for Brown. I think that was a blown coverage on that, or maybe they were looking for a switch with
looked like
Luca. Luca just found that soft spot in their switching man-to-man defense there. I think Downey was hanging out deep in the space and didn't pick up and just allowed a huge number of yards to be eaten up by that one throw.
As we've seen, this left to right, as you're watching, is a little bit downwind, which is helping the offenses here. No turns yet. 5-4 Brown. We're on serve. 99 in the stream. Let's get one more. Thanks for tuning in. Quarterfinals and nationals.
Yeah,
we are
clean game in somewhat potentially sloppy conditions out here. It's wet, The rain is starting to pick up a little bit. Not super windy, but definitely enough that it could affect it. And both teams playing cleanly. A few close plays though.
Yeah, Georgia's had probably had 1 point with a couple dicey throws, and then of course, as we said, Aiden coming close to a couple big layout blocks on Brown's offense, but no turns yet. And it's going to be Zach Merrill on the pull for Brown. Here's the lefty backhand pull as Brown puts out, I think, a zone-looking team, but we'll find out. And here we go. Pull is fielded on a hop. Center to 23-13. It's Matthias on the mark, and it is a zone from Brown. Caleb, one of the senior captains, is in the cup along with Siddharth and Matthias as Noah lurks on the wing along with AB and Patrick. Georgia at midfield. We hear D-up chants from the Brown alumni. Powell's got the disc for Georgia. finding Krugler, number 23. It's Georgia's cross midfield, although now they've given it up. Aiden back to Powell, up to number 30. Georgia close now. Swing to the middle of the field. Georgia well positioned. Swing to Powell as Matthias is on the mark. Number 5 with the disc. Back to Powell. Powell looking, can't find much. Swings it to 18. Lefty backhand to Aiden. Brown's defense has tightened as Georgia's on the goal line now. 100 on the screen.
It's that small field situation where the zone now has compressed the field. They're playing, they're going back and forth. And we talked about this in the last game with Michigan. At some point Georgia's going to have to take a calculated risk to the end zone. They can't throw 98% throws forever.
Yeah, Brown was able to shut down Aiden's attempted give and go there. Great defense from Brown as they're making Georgia work for it. And here's the throw for the goal. Georgia holds or 5-all. 5-all. Number 20 from Georgia is fired up. That's Scott Whitley.
And Noah there with the bid at the end too. Again, that's we have not been seeing a lot of laying out, and I appreciate that he made the effort there. He wasn't too far from it. I think that was a good D-line point for BMO. Made Georgia throw it a lot. Good offense from Georgia too. Good on them. I mean, we are still here at 5-5. No turnovers in this game.
No turns.
I love these games as a player. When you're in these games, it feels like you're going punch for punch. With another heavyweight team. Right?
Yep.
And that's what this feels like.
Yeah, by far the cleanest game that we have seen at Nationals, personally. Brown's O team takes the field. Jason, Jacques, Leo, Henry, Luca, Elliot, and Cal out there for Jojah. Scotty and Aiden will stay out there, as will number 23, Jack Krugler. 36, Zach Brennan is going to pull it again.
Can I say, so I have not seen any team play a zone that intentionally transitions at a point, like on any team. I know Brown doesn't do it, but it seems like that's way out of fashion compared to how it was.
Out of fashion for sure, the zone transition. Cal fields it for Brown, up to Jacques. Brown come down the horizontal offense. Jacques to Leo. Leo's got Henry streaking deep, does not throw it wisely. He's got Jacques going up the line, delivers it nicely to him. Jacques continues with the backhand to Cal. He's got to go to and does with the fancy feet to get inbounds for the goal. Brown holds 6-5 Brown.
So quick point there for Brown again. Brown's offense looking great. Leo really seeing him step up in that pressure of Downey. He loves that matchup. I like seeing that. And Jacques is just taking advantage of the fact that he's got a weaker defender,
Yeah.
And Cal's stepping up too. Cal's playing great so far in this game.
Cal is playing fantastic. He's had a great weekend.
Yeah, he has had a great weekend. I mean, this is Brown coming together. This is what we've been wanting to see from Brown for the last few games, and they're starting to hit their stride.
Yeah, Brown got a little sidetracked by having an administrative suspension that forced 3 of their top players to each miss one of their first 3 games. But I think they've kind of slowly been building since getting past that. Brown had a tough quarterfinal matchup against Michigan, but pretty much always felt in control, winning 15-12. Out there on D for Brown, Oscar, Yutt, Amrik, Matthias, Jason, Emmett, and Jacques. Jacques is playing this D point, as he does sometimes. Aiden's out there for Georgia. Scotty's out there for Georgia. Here's the pull. It's going to be fielded by Krugler. Center to 13, who's Jake Powell. Over to Aiden. Brown's playing zone. Jacques got the last back as Georgia works it through the cup, hitting midfield now. Matthias on the mark. Siddharth in the cup as well with Yutt. Jason Tapper lurking just behind the cup. Brown trying to take that reset away, but Georgia gets it off. Miller with the disc, looking for his reset. Aiden with the disc now. Brown's kind of got him trapped on the sideline, but they give up yards to switch the field. And through the cup, nice look there. Miller's got the disc as Emmett drops into coverage. Looking for the scooper. We got that lefty scooper off to 13. That's Jake Powell. Over to Aiden now. Kyle, what are you seeing from Brown on this D point?
Well, you know, it's there that 2-3-2 that we've been seeing. It's aggressive on those marks. They've been coming around a lot. You know, they're just trying to create something here. Georgia's being very patient. They're doing a good job with the disc.
Yeah, that bladey forehand got him over the cup and a bunch of yards, and Georgia's at the in the attacking space now, kind of hitting that red zone as Matthias is on the mark for Brown. Matthias stays on the mark. As you said, Kyle, kind of that 2-3-2 look, where it's mostly Matthias marking. It's got to be tired now. It's been a long point. Brown is certainly forcing a lot of throws as they've got Georgia almost back to midfield now.
Yeah, it is definitely physically exhausting playing the cup on a point like this, but it's also mentally taxing to be the handler in these types of situations, having to consistently make these throws and work up the field.
And here's a scuba. Ooh, and a fancy one-handed grab from number 30, Chandler. That was a tough grab in traffic.
And they lose all those yards, right? But they went right
working.
back to where they were before.
Yeah, still at, now they're on the goal. Now they're up to the goal line. Back to Aiden, about 15 yards out. Swing to Powell, maybe 10 yards out. There's a backhand shot to the end zone for the goal. Hold for Georgia, it's 6-all.
Good O point for Georgia, not a bad D point for Brown. I mean, lots of throws, a couple of looks there. That one over the top was a little bit sketchy. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm Brown, which one I like more. You know, the benefit of a zone like that is that you can keep some of those top guys in without having to work quite as hard.
Yeah.
And give you a little more firepower on a turnover if you get it. I think the man look is getting maybe better looks for a turnover.
I agree.
You know, this is a great game. We got turnover free through 12 points so far. So great ultimate being played by both sides, both looking for that first break.
Yeah, an impressive showing from both teams here. Not great conditions, but it's wet. The rain is light. The rain is light. The wind is present, but the wind is also light. But as Kyle said, no turn through 12 points. It's 6-all. Aiden's going to stay out there for Georgia, as is Adam Goldstein, number 18. On the line for Brown, Yut, Leo, Jason, Luca, Henry, Jacques, and Cal. And it's Eden Downey with the pull for Georgia. Outside in backhand. Leo's going to let it fall, field it on the roll. Center to Yut. Yut at roughly the defending brick mark, looking for Cal. Instead swings it to Leo. Leo's got Henry going deep, but holsters it. Holsters Jacques on the upline cut. Tough throw up to Elliott. Oh, and here's a drop in the first turn of the game. So it's a little behind Cal, and chance for Georgia's D team.
So this is the first time a D-line has gotten possession in the game, so Brown really needs to work here. They want this back.
Scotty takes the shot. Jason Tapper's there for Brown, and Jason Tapper rises up for the big D, and a foul call by Georgia.
Oh man, that is a tough foul call to make. Those two players were both in pretty equal position. Unless there was like a clear swat of the hand, I think that's got to play as a turnover. Because body-wise, they were just up against each other, right? I mean, you can't hang a hospital pass like that, get a defender underneath there, and expect that to be.
Yeah, for me, that looked like contact, but legitimate contact, as both guys were going up strong to make a play on the disc. Jason got a little higher. And but I feel like this is going to go to the Observer, and we'll see.
This is going to be a big call by the Observer, especially in a game like this with so few turnovers so far. If this maintains, every call like this that could result in a turnover ends up being a really big deal.
Observer's letting the players talk it out. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. Oop.
Oh, the Observer rules it is a foul, so this is going to come back with Georgia onto the goal line.
All right.
So big call for Georgia here. You know, I don't have a great perspective on it. I'm sure the Observer has a better perspective than I have.
Yeah, we are a little far away. Look good from here, but hard to say.
So it's going to get checked in here. The receiver will, once he gets checked in, everyone will be able to move. The receiver's going to take it to the goal line. And Georgia's going to have to play some goal line offense. Brown's going to have to play some goal line defense. Hope they can step up here.
Jack Krigler was the receiver for Georgia. He's going to be putting it in play, marked by Jason Tapper. Disc is live. Georgia's on the goal line, looking for a break. Looking for the reset. They get it. Looking to the end zone. Here's the bladey flick, and that is...
It came out of his hands and hit the ground. I am pretty positive on that one. So Brown is calling that one down. That should be an immediate Observer referral. The Observer should rule up or down right away, but it came down hard. I think he bobbled it, hit the ground, and he picked it back up again.
Yeah.
So Brown is calling it down.
And the observer calls it down. The observer calls it down. Georgia's DT not able to convert.
Huge turnover. So each team with a turnover here. Brown back on O, trying to keep this game on serve and maintain that 1-point lead.
Here we go. Jacques to Jason. Second chance for Brown's O. Jason to Jacques. Jacques got Yut, looks him off, looking for Leo. Around flick. Leo rises up to get it. Leo's marked by Aiden. Leo looking downfield. Leo fakes and pivots. Jacques gets very open. Jacques looking to take over here. Jason's got the disc. Jason looking for Cal.
Yeah, Jacques sees the opportunity here. He's got a weaker defender on him, the one that Jacques can play. Oh, they switch off. Just goes
Jacques
up
shoots it to Luca.
Field.
Wow, visionary. That was like a not quite deep cut. Jason dumping to Yut. Yut on the goal line, looking for his resets, looking for Cal's open. Cal scores for Brown. Brown with the hold, 7-6. What a throw from Jacques as he had Henry going deep. And he had Luca kind of trailing the play and kind of threw it under a short deep throw to the trailing
kind of like
receiver.
the back shoulder, I mean, I don't know why there were two Brown receivers there and only one Georgia defender, but good on Jacques for finding that and throwing that. I mean, that really is his kind of signature, right? That backhand, bendy throw, just really nice.
And you saw him kind of double clutch, and it's like, oh, you're really gonna throw that after first thinking about it, but he saw the second receiver.
When he first released, I thought it was a missed throw, and it was right into Luca's breadbasket. So both teams trading turnovers. So those first turnovers of the game here in the 13th point. Very, very clean ultimate being played by both teams. Not from a lack of defensive pressure. Both teams are playing solid defense out here.
One thing I'll try to get clarification on, Adam Goldstein is listed as number 18, but number 18 is wearing a jersey that says Miller for Georgia.
I think it's Adam Miller is wearing the Miller jersey.
Adam Miller is 2 according to the roster. Georgia! Interesting.
We got a lot of Georgia. We're right around the Georgia tent. Let's ask him.
Thanks, Kyle.
Is Adam Miller wearing the jersey that says Miller? Oh yeah, because he's number 2 in the roster, but it looks like he is wearing a different number on his jersey. So we just want to be sure.
Oh, Goldstein is 2.
16.
Okay, the roster just has their numbers switched.
Okay.
The roster just has their numbers
So
switched.
Miller is 16, yeah.
All right, so the jerseys, the names on the jerseys, not surprisingly, are correct.
Oh, Adam Goldstein's number 2.
Okay, Adam Goldstein number 2.
You'll give it back to me.
Oh yeah.
That's we have the parental roster.
Yeah, the parental roster is laminated. Thank you to the Georgia parents for helping us out here.
114 on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. It's 7-6. We're on serve. Brown leads. Only 2 turns in this game so far. They both came on the last point. And that turn, I think, was the kind of turn that one expects to see on a wet day like today. It's just a little short throw, just a little behind the receiver, and the wet disc kind of just didn't stick in his hand.
And both turns. The Georgia turn too is
And
like
the
a
Georgia
wet,
turn.
like it's a bladey throw that's coming in hot, and it's just wet. It's hard to catch. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of those types of turns.
Yep. Leo Gordon with the pull for Brown, caught by Adam Miller.
And we're in a person-to-person, man-to-man defense here for Brown with a straight-up mark. Looks like they're kind of back pocket, forcing him underneath.
Krukey back to Powell. Sid on the mark for Brown. To Krukey for Georgia. Up to Krugler, marked by Zach Kaufman. To Chandler, marked by Luca. Here's the shot to the end zone. Too far, turn.
So there's Georgia's first O-line turn. This is Brown's first opportunity on D. Leo is going to be quarterbacking this offense.
We're going to look for Elliott, number 27, to touch the disc a lot, and Emmett, number 15. He's also going to operate from the front of the stack, I would think.
Yeah. So
or Oscar, number 0.
Yep. So Aiden Downey switched on to Elliott. Yep. And off of Leo, who's guarding. Off of Oscar.
Yeah, Aiden's on Yut. Yut's got Leo, marked by Scotty. Leo back to Yut. Probably going to be the Leo and Elliott show here. Elliott finds Emmett, getting open from the front of the stack to Oscar. Pumps. He's got 2 in the dump space. Never a good sign. And a tough reset. Nice catch by Leo. Leo not phased by the Aiden matchup one bit.
This
Leo
break
finds Yut.
is for half for Brown. If they wouldn't take this, they'll take half. I would love a timeout here if they feel pressured.
Yut.
Just some freshness.
Brown still on their own half of the field. A nice throw to Aiden. And a call.
Looks like a call is going to bring this back a couple. You know, we were
Nice throw
talking
to Emmett, excuse me.
in the UAH game, Brown had to play that game without Jacques Neeson. And I think it helped. Like, we talked about how that game was a growth game for them, allowed them to build chemistry without him on field. This is a great opportunity where, you know, this is a and they play a lot of D-line points without Jacques on the field. But this is a great opportunity to show how those reps, those additional reps that they got without Jacques on the field, can pay off.
Absolutely. And Scotty marking Emmett laid out past him. So Scotty was unmarked for a moment. Luca. It's got Leo for the reset. Brown D-team has the disc, looking to punch it in to take half.
Taking
They
advantage of some of
cross
these handler
midfield,
switches.
roughly at the attacking break. Oh, and a tough floaty up line, and it's tipped, and caught by Zach Hoffman for the break. Brown takes half on the tip drill.
Upwind break for Brown. They're the first team to be able to convert one here, and they take a 2-point lead going into half. Fantastic point from Brown. Obviously a very sketchy throw to finish that, but fantastic. Sometimes the luck breaks your way, and that's what happens for Brown here, and they are the first team to be able to convert.
Sometimes you got to be a little lucky. You saw a crowd gather under that floaty throw, and you just thought, you know, who's outside the crowd if it makes its way through, and it did, all the way to the end zone, no less. And it's Zach Hoffman.
Hoffman in the right place in the right time.
Class of 2024, he's a senior, catching a huge break as Brown takes half 8-6. Thanks for tuning in. It is halftime.
I'm going to go grab a 2019 one.
Yeah, we got a halftime show for you. Kyle Weisbrod is running across the field. So the Brown D team gets it done. They get their break. It's been a game of inches as Georgia's D team only a few points ago had a chance to score and were unable to catch a Blady forehand in the end zone for what would have been their break. Brown's O team scored on their second chance, and then Brown was able to come back on D and get the break to take half 8-6. It's been a great game so far. Only 3 turns in the half. Both teams playing well despite the wet, despite the intermittent wind. We'll see what the weather brings for the second half. I see Kyle walking up with Saul Rushmeyer-Bailey, class of 2019, and I am going to donate my microphone for the halftime show. We'll get Saul mic'd up for you.
Let's go, Georgia!
Like when you say on the sideline, what do you mean?
Just what's been going on over there?
Hey, great. I am here with Saul Rushmeyer-Bailey from the class of 2020, but champion in 2019.
That's right.
Saul got to play under Jake in a similar system to what they're currently playing. I'm curious to know what's going on the sideline there with the BMO alums and what you're seeing as you know, someone who played in the system.
Nice half out of BMO there. We played very clean for the most part, so that was great, and I think that's something Jake always harps on. The sideline is a ton of fun right now. We were approached after the first point. We were counting each pass, so whenever they would throw, we would increment the count by 1. And then what happened was we would also make noise, kind of like we would go, oh! And one of their players got extremely frustrated while he was on the field, turned around, shouted at us.
Oh, I saw that. He looked, he pointed.
And then after that point, he goes to the observer, talks to the observer. The observer comes over to us and says, we're not allowed to make noise while they're catching it. So that, you know, we took that to heart and we stopped making noise while they were catching it. But we continued doing our thing. And then we got approached by the USAU representatives who are keeping score over there. And they said to us that we had to have only positive cheers. And since then, BMO has been on a great stretch.
Yeah.
We just took half with a break. There's a lot of kind of, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands, power of positivity, talking about maybe the fruits that we love as a team.
Like which fruits?
We love raspberries, nectarines, grapes, oranges,
That's
strawberries.
a lot of fruits. I
Yeah.
mean, are there fruits that you don't love?
We can't speak negatively about
Oh
anything
yeah, that's a good point.
right
Good
now.
point. Well,
So-
you can't on the stream.
Well, in confidence, there's one fruit that we are not pleased with, and it's peaches. We don't like peaches.
Is that a Georgia thing? Oh. Well,
Yes.
that's good to know. That's good.
Yeah.
To know. All right, on the field a little bit. One thing
Yeah.
I'm really curious about. What we've noticed that there's a lot less from our time playing. There were more set plays like off bricks and things like that. And now it seems like it's just the flow of your offense. When you were on the field as a handler, how did you think about like where people were moving and how structured that was, or how predictable it was?
Yeah, so I think there are still set plays all the
Mhm.
time. Defenses have gotten a lot better at junking up the lanes, stopping the initial plays. So what happens is now we kind of have plays that are sending 2, 3, 4 guys into motion, and then, you know, assuming that play gets stopped, maybe we throw a hitch, maybe we throw a short one, and then we kind of get into the flow from there with all of the guys in motion.
Do you have like a predefined like check down, especially in that handler like offensive set? Is it like I always turn this way and then this way and this way, or is it
No,
it's
no.
just it's a feel of
Yeah.
like here's where I know the next throw is coming?
Something Jake talks a lot about, and kind of is one of the BMO things, is we don't like to prescribe things. We want people to be on the field, feel what cuts make sense, get a sense of where the space is, and attack from there. You know, there's some guiding principles, like where, you know, we like to have kind of leave the front of stat guy a lot of space to work. But other than that, just let them play.
The other question we had is that every other team out here splits their sidelines. Like they have sidelines on both sides. They're yelling. They're doing a lot. We see Brown stay on their own sideline all the time. So tell me a little about that philosophy as well.
Yeah, I think that's kind of about kind of getting everyone in one spot, hanging out, making sure everyone's eating, drinking, resting while they're not on the field, so they can give it their all on the field. And hopefully we as alums are able to bring at least that energy that the other teams have.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the alums play a huge part. There's still time to come out. If we win this game, there will be a semifinal.
That's
so,
right.
know-
And, you know, if we win that semifinal, there's always time to fly in tomorrow morning.
There's always time to fly in
So,
tomorrow morning. Let's make it build. Here we
yeah.
go. Thanks,
Cheers.
Sol.
Thank you.
Thank you, Saul.
Bye, everyone.
Fantastic
I'll be over there
halftime
being
interview
positive.
from Saul. Only positivity here. No negativity. Not even the double negativity kind.
How do you feel about the only positivity? You know, I feel like Ultimate has a long tradition of heckling.
Yes.
And I wonder where that line is, I guess, at the moment culturally about like where's heckling okay?
I would say, in my experience as an alumni, I would say the line has occasionally been crossed, but not this weekend. So I'm sort of surprised that USAU, this weekend of all weekends, has kind of this year of all years has decided to say something to us.
It's interesting too about this positivity thing, because I heard the Georgia guys on the sideline yelling at certain guys, oh, he's nervous with the disc, he's nervous, which feels like a kind of negative thing.
Yeah.
So like, and I think that's okay. Like I am okay with Georgia being like a little bit of heckling and creating a little pressure with their voices.
Here we go, second half action. 8-6 Brown over Georgia. 0 point for Georgia. Aiden and Jake passing it back and forth. Miller, Krugler, fast stuff from Georgia here. Brown's in zone defense. The rain is falling. The wind is gusting here, helpfully, as Brown's got him trapped on the sideline. High stall and a foul.
That was a really late foul call. There was contact there. There was definitely contact. But he waited like 3 seconds before he called the foul, and I think he would have thrown it if he didn't say anything. I still would have contested that and been like, you have to call it immediately. That's the way the foul system works.
Here we go. Powell with the disc. Jake Powell, marked by Adrian. Brown's in zone. Adrian on the mark. Trying to push him back. Aiden with the disc now for Georgia. Back to 30. Matthias on the mark. Adrian on the mark, excuse me.
So a little less intensity from the Brown defense after that stoppage. Man, that pressure was getting really high in that one point, on that one possession. This is tough.
If you're just tuning in for the second half, it's 8-6 Brown. First point in the second half, no turns yet. Brown playing zone. 0 point for Georgia. Chandler with the disc, looking for his reset. He gets Aiden. Georgia's Callahan nominee. Adrian on the mark. Miller with the disc now. Quick one to Chandler. Hunting for a goal here is Georgia, faking the scuba. High count and finding the open receiver for the goal. Georgia holds 8-7, 8-7.
Good possession there from Georgia, working down against Brown's zone. You know, obviously a little bit of pressure there from Brown. Can't handle that. I mean, in a 3 turnover game, you know, anytime when stall count gets high, that's a near win, right? You know, these teams have been clean, and you're just trying to get looks. You want to get a chance to score.
And the wind was helping out there a little. It's a gusty wind, and there were moments in which you wouldn't really want to throw it across the field from the sideline closest to us towards the far sideline. But there were moments where that throw was perfectly fine because the wind just stopped. There's also a upwind downwind component, and it's mostly been downwind is left to right. So most of the scores have been, now it's coming on strong. Now it's really getting strong, actually, as we're talking. Maybe gusting to, I don't know, 20 miles an hour.
These gusts are hitting 15, 20 miles an hour, I'd say.
So Browns O is going to have to deal with the wind. The good part is they're going downwind, but we shall see. Aiden with the pull, 8-7 here. Brown with the lead over Georgia as Yutt fields it. Centers to Jock. Jock's got Jason going deep. He pulls up. Jock hits him. Jason on the sideline looking at Leo. He's got him. Brown crosses midfield. Leo threw too far. And a foul call.
So I think that's a pretty bad foul call there from Cal. I mean, Downey had the beat on that one. He was in front. I think that's going to be overruled pretty quickly by the observer.
You want me to tell him or you going
Yeah, I think you're likely correct, Kyle.
Yeah, there's no way the observer upholds that foul call. Even though we are Brown supporters, we can recognize bad calls by down and receiver.
And here's the ruling: no foul.
No foul.
That's directed by Kyle. So Georgia's defense with the chance to get their break back. Cal marking Aiden. Brown's going to force back in here.
It's a tough break here because they are going upwind, and this wind is challenging. Although it has died down a little bit from where it was just a second.
Scotty with the disc for Georgia. He takes the shot to the end zone, looking for Aiden. Jock is there. Aiden lays out for the grab and the goal. That's an upwind break for Georgia.
That was a great throw from Georgia. I mean, and that laser beam worked because of the wind. It held it up there a little longer. And Downey, very fast and very long, able to lay out. So big break back there for Georgia, and now it puts that pressure back on that Brown O-line to go back on there and work upwind. So now we've got a very exciting and interesting, kind of just like strategic situation with both teams going upwind for holds until we get another break.
Yep. So out there for Owen Brown, Henry, Cal, Luca, Jason, Leo, Elliott, and Jock. Jock was hunting for a block there, but that throw from Scotty was really only where Aiden could get it.
Yeah, it was a great throw. And it was a great recognition by Downey to get down field and stretch the field. So
I think
nice work for Georgia.
That's a look where it's like, you know, if that's your O team, maybe it's a little tight, but for your D team to put it to your best player, you'll take that all day.
Yeah, upwind on the D line, absolutely.
All right. Zach Brennan on the pull for Georgia. It's 8-0. We're back on serve. Brown offense going upwind. Georgia sideline is energized. Yutt fields the pull. Centers to Jacques. Jacques got Cal across the field. He's going to come across to Leo instead. Leo's got Luca going deep. Leo's got Jason in the lane. Finds Jacques as his reset. Jacques to Leo. Leo looking for Jacques. Leo instead to Cal. The wind is gusting. Cal upline to Leo. Tight throw. Got it. Brown's across midfield now. Backhand force from Georgia. Man defense. Looking for... Oh, and a call.
Like that was a high call. So I don't know where the call. Looks like on this Nissen matchup, there's some conversation happening there. So I don't know. It looks like a foul. Nissen may have called a foul. on a push off or hand on the body.
Scotty Whitley, number 20, has the Elliot Rosenberg matchup for Georgia. He just threw that great upwind huck.
So the observer's ruling it as a contested foul, so not making a ruling themselves, they're just communicating that it's going to be played as a contested foul. Disc is coming in with a stall count of 4 here. Leo's got the disc.
Brown got a little stagnant there. Here we go, looking for the front of the stack. Leo finds Yut.
I think they got stagnant because they stopped for the foul downfield.
Yeah. Yut holsters the around backhand, finds Cal. Cal to Yut.
Jacques trying to
Looking
get
for
involved in
Jacques.
this offense.
Looking
here.
for Jacques, number 30,
Good
playing good
from Georgia.
defense on
High stall
Jacques.
count.
High stall. Yut puts it to space for Leo. Great throw. Leo looking for Jacques. Leo to Yut. Yut doing work out here. Yut looking at Jacques. Yut to Jacques and a poacher and a D. As I think that's Miller for Georgia getting the D.
Yeah, Miller did not get a piece of that, but he put enough pressure on Jacques that Jacques wasn't able to come down with it. And now Georgia D-line with a downwind possession here.
Brown trying to get it back here. Luca on the mark. Brown is not playing zone, they're just finding their matchups. Georgia at their own brick mark roughly on defense, trying to get a break.
Timeout called by Georgia. I actually think that timeout helps Brown a lot. I think they were looking a little gassed defensively there. So I like this for Brown. They might even come back out in his zone after this timeout.
Yeah.
But this is a big point, right? It's obviously an opportunity for 2 consecutive breaks for Georgia.
Yeah, you feel like this point's a big momentum shift either way. Either Georgia gets 2 in a row or Brown gets the upwind hold.
Right, the upwind hold. And if Georgia does get 2 in a row, it's going to mean there's probably going to need to be an upwind break by Brown later in the game for Brown to pull this one. So
if you're just joining us for the second half, there was an air horn going off.
I do not think that. I mean, this game's been moving quickly, so I don't think that air horn affected us at all.
But it's 8-all. Georgia just got their break back, and Georgia's D team has the disc again.
So we are currently on serve, but Georgia has an opportunity for a downwind.
Yes. Yes.
There's been 1 break each way so far in this game. Very clean game. 5 total turnovers.
A very well played game so far. Georgia's D team called timeout. They have the disc roughly at their own brick mark. We'll see if Brown's O team goes O here. Excuse me, O team goes zone here. Jake Powell with the disc for Georgia. Georgia's going to go into a spread. For some reason running.
So Brown's got 20 seconds to set and check the disc into play.
Oh, I see, because Georgia only had X number of seconds to get
I think
set.
Georgia may have run out of time. I'm not sure they're in the exact positions they actually wanted to be in.
Yeah, that's why they were running. Interesting. All right, Brown looks like...
It looks like a man-to-man with Cal poaching out into space, maybe?
Oh, and...
I think that's right. I think Cal was poaching off his guy, which was clogging up the lane some, so he forced it out to Cal's guy, number 36.
Yeah, poaching man. Here's the swing. Georgia gets it. Georgia being forced backwards at the moment. Swing back to the near side of the field. Wet disc.
I think they decided that they're okay with him, this guy 36, having the disc.
Emmett having the block on the reset there, but not quite able to get it. A zippy throw up to Jake Powell. Leo on the mark, and there's the backhand put. Jake Tapper.
Oh, Jake!
That's a drop.
Jake did not touch that, but I think that pressure made Aiden Downey think just enough.
Yeah.
I love that Jake made that bid. Or Jason, I keep saying Jake.
Yeah.
Jason has been on fire. He is playing so well this weekend.
Huge layout bid from Jason Tapper, just roughing that deep shot, and Brown's O gets another chance to do it. Jacques now has the Aiden matchup, finding Yut. Yut looking, back to Jacques. Jacques looking for something. It's a little stagnant out there. Jacques finds Cal. Cal doing work, up to Yut.
That was a
Brown,
power position there.
trying to go upwind. Second time with the disc. Finding Luca is coming back into the reset space. Luca to Leo. Brown on their own brick mark now. Leo looking for something. He finds Yut. Yut to Jacques. Makes the sliding grab. Jacques to Leo. Brown across midfield now. The wind is gusting here. Leo up to Jacques. Jacques to Cal. Cal to Jacques. on the goal line. On the goal line to count for the goal. Brown holds upwind.
Huge hold from Brown there, getting the disc back after their turnover and punching that one in upwind, maintaining that lead. We are still on serve, but holy smokes, Ben, that was a great point for Brown.
What
and
a
Jason
sequence of
Tapper,
events.
that bid, the shadow block, absolutely huge. Just making Aiden Downey think enough about it that it made the difference.
Should Brown win this game, we will remember that block for sure. Brown's up 9-8. The game's on serve, but now Georgia has to go upwind. Walking onto the field for Georgia, Scotty Whitley. And number 5 is, well, the roster says it's Cole Chandler, but that's not correct. Because Chandler's number 30, in fact.
Oh, I've got
Miller,
the parent
18
roster
out there. The parent roster is the correct one. Thank you to the Georgia parents for this laminated roster. Jake Powell, number 13 out there for Georgia. Number 61 is Carter. And out there for Brown on D, 76, Andy Burris, we call him AB. Patrick, number 35. Siddharth, number 95. Caleb, number 30.
This is a zone line for Brown.
Matthias,
for
19.
Sure.
Yes, a zone line. Zach Merrill,
Caleb's
number 4.
there.
He's going to deliver the lefty pull.
And
number
downwind, I've
78,
been waiting for this downwind lefty pull. He's been giving
Here it
straight
is.
pull receivers with this pull.
It's a good one. Inbounds as always. Fielded by Georgia. Centers to Powell. Here's the Brown zone. Georgia's got to beat the zone. Let's hope the wind gusts. Georgia hopes it doesn't. Through the cup to Powell. Powell's got Aiden on the near sideline, and here's the throw to Aiden. Up to Chandler. Georgia across midfield. Back to Aiden. To Miller. Matthias on the mark to Aiden. To Miller. Back to 61. And a wobble, but he got it.
Yeah, that wind gusted there.
Dicey moment there for Georgia. Dicey moment there. Aiden now with the disc. Roughly at midfield. Powell. Aiden. Sid on the mark. Matthias on the mark. Miller with the disc. Here's that lefty throw to Chandler. Chandler through the cup back to Aiden. Here's the hammer, and it's caught on the sideline by Scotty. Scotty to Jake. Georgia's maybe 15 yards out of the goal line now. Back to Aiden. Back to Miller. Back to Jake. Georgia on the attacking brick. Brown staying in their zone. Matthias doing work on the mark. To Miller. Brown hoping this weather's gonna force a miscue here from Georgia. All the action is near the disc. In the end zone, we've just got a 2-on-2 situation. Woo! Looks like Matthias almost got a hand on that swing.
A lot of pressure, like corner here, pressure coming in, Aiden Downey able to get the outlet.
Georgia 5 yards off the goal line. High stall, here's a flick to the end zone. Did he keep his feet in?
Observer rules him.
Observer rules him out. Observer rules him out. Oh, the observer rules him out. Caleb picks up. Wow.
So here's a huge opportunity for Brown. Downwind. I want to see him take a shot. Oh God. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I want to see him take a downwind shot.
I agree.
Like they need to spread the field right away after turnover like that. Just maybe get a goal. Otherwise, just like make this Georgia O-line have to work it all the way back up. Winding.
Powell with the disc now. Georgia's second chance. Aiden with the disc. Aiden gets it back from Miller. Swings to Scotty. As Zach does work to get into position. Scotty through the middle to Jake. Up to number 6 for the goal. That's Aiden scoring for Georgia. Georgia gets the upwinder. It's 9-all.
Yeah, second possession there for Georgia, much cleaner. First possession was great for them too until that last pressure throw from Downey and that blade on the sideline. Just tough one in the wind and hard to stay in bounds.
Yeah, receiver caught it, but wasn't able to keep his feet in. So Brown didn't quite go for the kill shot there with their subbing strategy. And the Brown O team walks onto the field, 9-all on serve. Offense is going upwind here.
You know, as a fan of a team here, kind of the strategic aspect of this type of game feels so stressful, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to keep coming on upwind O lines and getting holds, and then you get these D-line break chances. I think as a fan of the sport of ultimate itself, this is amazing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like you want to see two teams facing that kind of adversity point after point. But I'm sure if you're a Georgia fan, it's stressful. If you're a Brown fan, it's stressful. Like you're just like watching every pass, being like, "Come on, you gotta make it," and you gotta go 70 yards upwind in wet conditions. Not easy out here.
Yeah, and this gusty wind providing some additional drama where any particular throw in the air can be affected. Oh, and that throw gets by Cal and rolls far away. Brown's gonna have to put it in on that far sideline. Not in the end zone.
Not in the end zone, but on the sideline. This is going to be a tough situation, but it does look like it's person to person, which is at least something, right? Zach has great break mark throws.
That was a canny pull from Georgia.
Yeah, it was short and blady.
Jock puts it in. Jock looking for something. Jock looking for something. Jock doesn't have much here. And he finds Luca on the bailout in cut.
Great outlet from Luca.
Luca finds Leo. Leo looking as Brown's at their own brick mark. Leo zips it up to Jason. Wow, to Cal, to Jason. Jason to Leo. What a find from Leo to Luca.
Yeah.
Brown all the way about 15 yards out. Now looking for a reset. Looking. They get Leo. Leo looking for Jacques. Leo fakes. Leo around to Cal. Cal makes the grab. Cal waves off Leo. Cal zips it to Jason. Jason to Leo for the goal. What a hold from Brown.
What a hold from Brown. Good pressure from Georgia. Great pull. Like, you know, you gotta be happy with that D-line for Georgia. But Brown looking fantastic. Leo really making some throws to open up the offense there. Love to see that from Leo, especially those inside looks. Just zipping them. And Jason Tapper, you know, finding the space. Luca also stepping up and making, you know, some great outlet opportunities. And good communication too. There's one point where Jason had the disc and both Leo and Jacques were in the backfield, and they you could see the communication, so Jacques could clear, Leo could create space for Leo to make a cut to go get the disc.
Yeah.
Great systematic offense from Brown on that point.
Great stuff from Brown. They've definitely leveled up.
Yeah, and we were saying this before. This is what Brown needed to be able to do to compete for the rest of this tournament, and they're doing what they need to do. And now the wind again.
Here comes the wind. Brown got the upwinder, and now the wind picks up even more. Brown's up 10-9. The game's on serve, but offenses are going upwind.
Yeah, pressure back to Georgia here on this upwind point.
So it's an athletic line out there for Brown as Jason Tapper and Emmett are out there, rangy defender guys.
Definitely
Adrian Lynn, Zach
line.
Hoffman. This is a man line. Elliot
Brown.
Roseberg, Oscar Lowe. These are the man guys. Let's see what they can do as this wind is fierce right now.
There's no doubt here. The weather is the 8th defender for both teams, but now it's for Brown.
Here we go. Adrian with the pull. It's a knifing backhand that's going to hit inbounds. Not fielded on hot by Aiden. Aiden hangs it up. It's still a goal. That's a Callahan.
Brings that down. That's a huge hit for Brown. The downwind break for Brown. 2-point lead. Aiden Downey waited a long time before throwing that first throw.
He double clutched and waved Jake closer.
Waved him closer and then threw it nose up. Threw it nose up and it just hung there. And Oscar Lowe coming up huge with the Callahan goal for Brown. 2-goal lead. Brown gets the first break in this new kind of upwind, downwind strategy dynamic. And they are in control of this game at 11-9.
And now the wind and the rain are really picking up here. Exciting stuff here at College Nationals. Brown gets a second half break on the Callahan and is up 7-9 against the 2-seed Georgia. Is up 11-9 against the 2-seed Georgia.
Listen, I'm going to say something. Disc golf yesterday was really exciting. The alumni disc golf game was super competitive. Drinking and polka last night, also amazing. But this is the best moment of the weekend right now.
Absolutely.
Right here.
Absolutely.
I love this.
And it looks like this same team pretty much is going to stay out, but they're going to give Jason a rest.
Oh, they pulled Caleb in.
It's Matias coming in and Siddharth.
I think
be
this is a zone
look.
line. This could be a
zone
zone
look. Those are their.
And I kind of like the zone for a downwind. You can find it out, and make them have to throw it a lot side to side, and make those downwind point harder.
Adrian on the mark.
More churning. Yeah,
And as you said, Kyle, it is a zone here from Brown. It's a downwind point. It's a drop. A drop by Georgia. A drop. Another chance for Brown. Emmett. And an answering drop from Oscar. And here's a chance for a deep shot, but holstered by Georgia.
Oh, Brown is able to catch back up and set their zone look.
Scuba.
Oh, Scuba over the top. Oh.
Georgia crosses midfield, looking for this downwind hold. Back to Powell. To Aiden.
Georgia's starting to feel the pressure here. You can tell, you can see in the way that they're playing that they're feeling a little more pressure. This is zone line.
Great defense there from Siddharth, taking away the swing. High stall now. High stall. And they find it. They get it up the sideline, and a quick throw on the goal line now, and they score. They score 11-10.
Georgia able to hold, brings it back to 1 point here, 11-10. Good Brown D point opportunity there, a little bit squandered. It's tough conditions, and that wasn't necessarily their best D-line offense in. Would have been amazing to get another upwind break, but.
Yeah, my sense of the Brown subbing strategy is they're thinking we got our lead, we're going to score downwind offense. We hold downwind on O, we win the game for the rest of the game. We shall see.
That's a lot of pressure. I mean, a lot of pressure on those downwind O points. It is. Then, and it's definitely going to be hard for Georgia to convert upwind break, but they're a very good team. There's no question they're capable of putting that in, and then putting that pressure back on the O-line going upwind. It's hard.
Out there for Brown, Yut, Leo, Jacques, Luca, Henry, Jason, and Cal. Georgia's grumbling about double teams.
Yeah, that cup was pretty tight, I thought, Sprung.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I think that would have been reasonable. As far as double team goes, you have to be reacting to another offensive player to not be double teaming that's also within that space. So I don't think that's what they're necessarily doing.
Scotty was close on the first throw there, but he wasn't really looking for it. And Leo's got the disc now for Brown, up to an unmarked Jason, right back to Leo. Brown crosses midfield. Cal looking for a reset, gets Leo right back to Cal, and that nearly was teed by Georgia's number 35. And a cheeky throw from Leo up to Jason Tapper. He's got Cal. Aiden pushes off.
Defender.
Jason recognizes, finds Jacques to Yut for the goal. Brown holds.
Great Brown hold there.
Easy.
Again, Jason Tapper providing a huge outlet for the team.
Thanks for tuning in. 162 on this stream, and it's 12-10 Brown as we get towards the second part of the second half.
Really love that. Great balanced offense there from Brown. Distributing the disc very well. I also liked early in it. That was a more spread offense than we see from Brown a lot of time, where we see a lot of that handler movement. This time they had a couple of deep looks that drew defenders, drew those Georgia defenders, and we had some wide open unders because of it.
Yep.
And they're just running hard. I like to see that Brown offense running like that.
Yeah, a couple instances where a hard running cut drew two defenders, thrower recognized, found the open guy. Brown playing upwind defense now. We got A.B., Patrick, Zach, he's going to pull it. Caleb, Matthias.
This is going to be another zone line here from Brown. See if they can generate a turn like they did in that last point.
And Siddharth. Here we go. Here's the pull. Knocked down by Georgia. 12-10. 12-10 Brown, if you're just tuning in. 0 point for Georgia.
High stall count early.
Yeah, an immediate high stall count. Brown's playing zone here. And it's Miller for Georgia with the disc. Miller to Chandler. Sid's going to take away the reset. Chandler's going to go up to Scotty.
This guy.
Scott back to Chandler. Over to Miller. Georgia trying to beat this Brown zone. Aiden with the disc. Aiden back to Miller. Miller looking. He's going with the scoop bridge, floating in the wind. And it's caught by Jake Powell as Noah was hunting a block there. Miller with the disc to Noah. Sid on the mark, and here's a floaty throw.
Oh, another one just out of the reach of
over
AB.
AB. Wow, a couple of chances for Brown here as the gusty wind is making these throws float.
Yeah,
Throw and go for Aiden, but it's shut down.
You don't hate the zone look. This is a great zone look from Brown. It's creating opportunities.
Knocking on the door now is Georgia. Miller with the disc. He's a
looking for
lefty.
something upside down.
Thinking Scuba, but he's going to go Jake
Yeah.
Powell. Here's the hammer
Oh,
and a drop.
another shadow block from Brown. Brown is putting more pressure on than we've seen the rest of this tournament. And I love it. I love the Brown pressure. It's starting to really amp up.
Caleb picks up. Caleb, the captain, senior. Doesn't have much. Oh, and a wonderful layout block from Georgia, and they're going to score here.
That was a beautiful block. Over the shoulder. Great response from Georgia to hold on to it. You know, yeah, I mean, but I don't know. If you're Brown, you got to love that point. You know, you're putting tons of pressure on Georgia. You got the disc. You know, you force them to have to do something amazing just to score a downwind hole.
Yeah. I didn't catch the number, but that was a
Fantastic block.
layout block.
Fantastic
So
block.
It's 12-11 here. Brown's upper break. Receiving on offense as we shiver in the cold and the wind and the rain. It's very much an upwind, downwind game at this point. So from left to right as you watch is downwind. Steady, steady rain now. Very wet disc, very wet hands. Thanks for tuning in. It's 12-11 Brown. It's been a fast game. I don't know when the cap would go on, but I don't expect it to really affect things.
Yeah, there've been so few turnovers in this game. There's not been a lot of stoppages of play at all. I definitely expect this to get to the full 18 points.
Here we go, 8 in the pull for Jojah. It's gonna go with the outside in. It could roll out of bounds, but it's gonna be fielded on the roll by Yut, centered to Jacques. Brown's in the horizontal offense here. Jacques is looking, doesn't have much, but he's got Cal for the reset. Cal right back to Jacques, gusty wind.
So is this the first zone look we've seen from Georgia? I think this is our first Georgia zone look. They've responded.
Georgia's pulling the zone out here. Jacques.
They have Aiden Downey
Jacques
in
got
the deep
Henry
space.
no longer wide open. Lefty to Leo. Leo confident without gloves in the rain. To Yut, to Leo, to Yut. Yut fakes, finds Leo. To Jacques. Jacques looking. Leo. They've kind of got Jason. Oh, and a blade to Cal. Nice throw from Leo.
That was a tough throw in the wind.
Yeah, it's a tough catch too as it hangs up there. Jacques to Leo. Brown across midfield. Leo points. Leo looking for Cal. He's got Jacques near him. He's got Yut open for the swing. Gets it right back to Leo. Leo Gordon for Brown, number 47. John Jay would be proud. Elliot Rosenberg to Leo. Leo's got Cal popping. He's got Jason popping. He's got Luca and Henry deep. And a call. If you're just joining us,
looks like a double team. Looks like Brown's calling a double team here. That's the stoppage. The Georgia defender is saying, "Oh no, you walked towards me as you caught it, and that's why I was caught in that double team." But the Georgia defender's responsibility is to get out of that space as quickly as possible. He's not allowed to necessarily play defense in that. So the observer is upholding the double team. He's talking to the guy a little more about explaining like what the rules are here and what his responsibility is as the non-marking defender and how far away he needs to be. Saying he needs to be reacting to Leo as a defender, not to Yut. So that's double team.
Thanks for that explanation, Kyle. And if you're just tuning in, it's 12-11. Brown's on O with the lead and upper break. Leo Gordon with the disc. Georgia's playing zone here. Elliott getting yards on that reset. Leo looking.
Leo wants to do something. Leo's thinking about pushing it here. You can see the way he's like scanning the field. He's looking at his downfield options, deep downfield.
And so Georgia's compressing here and kind of daring Brown to throw a big one.
Right. And anything deep here is going to be over the top, and it's going to be open to the wind, which is going to be very scary. So I think a hold is the appropriate thing unless it's something really obvious.
Some nice shake and bake there from Cal to open up the reset throw to Jacques. Cal gets it back to Jacques.
Henry's on the far side thinking about a hammer from Jacques here, but
Jacques reads that floaty throw well. Brown maintains possession. Leo Gordon now to Jacques. Georgia sideline energizes Dave, making the O-line sweat. Cal's got the disc. Cal, nice one to Leo, opening up things a little bit. Leo, looking. It's got Cal. Cal, I think, called another double team there. Jock, an outside and backhand to Yut. Brown about 5 yards away now. Oh, and
get a little physical out here. A lot of contact. I would not be surprised to see the observer try to settle things down after a couple of like chippy things. So they are ruling it is a foul. It is uncontested. But giving that, like fouling there and giving your defense a chance to reset, I feel like that may be deserving of a TMF. You know, just to keep the game in check at this point, because we are like this is crunch time for both these teams.
Leo to Cal to Leo. Brown about 10 yards out. Leo to Cal. Jock also in the backfield. Cal lefty to Leo from Cal. Leo Gordon, the big goal. Brown holds up 13-11. 13-11. Brown over Georgia.
Yeah, what a great game. Both teams.
Yeah.
A few turnovers, but this is like 3 better than A.
Absolutely.
Their offense there looked very comfortable, very confident moving it down. The only sketchy throw was that one that got caught up, but Jock was able to easily reel that one in.
Yeah.
The one that was up in the air.
Yeah, and just like you said, Kyle, I mean, I'm happy to be here as an alumni. I'm happy the Browns winning this game. But just as a fan of Ultimate and College Ultimate, this is a great game to watch. Great battle, an elimination game. Suboptimal conditions, both teams just stepping it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is the type of game that could get
here's the blue
sloppy
card.
very
Here's the blue
easily.
card.
Oh, so here's a blue card being issued to Georgia, I think, for the contact. I think that was the same player that was actually all over Jacques down here on the sideline. At one point, Jacques threw up his hands in frustration. So it's a blue card. That's a team misconduct foul. The first 2 blue cards are warnings before there's yardage penalties associated with those team misconduct fouls. So it's late enough in the game that it probably won't matter. But I think the observers are just trying to head off at the pass any potential game slowing down because it gets chippy. I wouldn't be surprised to see blue cards issued for double teaming to either team at this point when they run those zones.
Eli trying the pull for Brown and Emmett Young getting close on that first throw. Up to Scott now, guarded by Eli. Scott looking to Miller for his reset. Miller to Jake.
So switch back up, Brown switch back up to a man-to-man defense here.
Here's the swing to Scott.
It can be hard, full speed going downwind for some of these catches, these throws. You got the disc is sped up, and then you got a defender on your shoulder to make it very difficult.
Brown going for the backhand force here. Georgia not making a ton of progress so far. A little bit of a dicey in cut. Chandler with the disc for Georgia. Here's Oscar, has got the Aiden matchup. Oscar, one of Brown's best defenders. Emmett getting close on that in cut.
Yeah, he thought about that one.
He thought about it. He thought about it.
Ooh, one-handed catch.
Brown's still pushing Georgia back. Georgia really still at their own brick mark. At some point, the deep shot's got to go up.
Great around
and a sliding grab there by Kruki. Great catch. Chandler over to 23. Looking
high
back
stall
to,
count. Looking at the reset. Reset is under trouble. Has to final outlet.
Oh! And a near drop, but he hangs on to the bobble. Exciting stuff here. Exciting stuff. Emmett on the mark. Georgia's at midfield, and here's the shot. Visionary. Is he in? He is.
He is in. That was a great throw across the top. Challenging throw. The wind kind of died down a little bit for that one, but he put it right in the breadbasket, made it easy for the receiver.
The lefty
good
flick
defensive
across
point
the
there for Brown.
13-12, Brown with the lead, walking out on offense after the Georgia hold. Good defensive pressure there from Brown and nearly got a turn on the bobble. Brown's O-team out there.
Great, great patience from Georgia. A couple really nice break mark throws there to keep the disc moving. I don't know if you saw this, one of those high stall counts, Aiden Downey just busted downfield. You can tell that's going to be that last option. If they have nothing else, let's boot it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's put it out.
And I sort of started looking. I kind of expected that one to go up.
I thought they were going to do it, but
instead a cool break mark.
Yeah.
So impressive stuff from Georgia's O-line, scoring through the teeth of Brown's defense. For Brown, Yut, Leo, Jason.
So these
Jock.
two teams have played twice this season, both in finals of major tournaments. Classic City Classic, which is a fall tournament, but the biggest fall tournament there is, which Brown won. And then once again at warm-up, which is the first spring tournament. So two teams that know each other really well and have played in big games against each other before and know each other.
Jock Neeson with the disc. Georgia doing a little poach to start. A lot of pointing and communication. Jock beats the poach with a blade to Cal. Gets it back. Over to Leo, and maybe this isn't just poaching, maybe this is a zone. I think it's a zone.
It is a zone defense, and the wind is a little down. The wind has died.
The wind just suddenly stopped. Thank you, wind. We appreciate it. Leo Gordon with the disc now. He's got Jock. Cheeky little push pass. Jock, Cal to Yut. Brown about 15 yards out, 10 yards out. Cal's got the disc back. He's got Leo. Leo leaping to get yards to Jacques. Brown knocking on the door. Jacques looks off Cal, goes to Leo, to Jacques, to Leo, to Cal, who's wide open for the goal.
Yeah.
That's a hold for Brown.
That was the easiest point we've seen in the last few. So that was a great hold for Brown. It puts Brown on the doorstep, up 2 points, 14-12. So Brown here has game point going upwind.
Yeah.
They could break to win here and make it to the semifinals here at Nationals.
14-12 Brown lead over Georgia. The game is not capped yet. Georgia is on the ropes as Brownie in motion has come out with by far their best performance of the weekend, stepping up when it matters.
Yeah, Brown playing at this level could win this tournament.
Absolutely.
They are definite contenders. This is the first time we've seen it all weekend, but they are definitely contenders if they can play like this.
And it seems like the weather maybe is helping Brown. Brown a little more of a small ball assistant team, and maybe Georgia a little more of a big throw team. I don't know. I haven't seen them play.
It's an interesting question because small ball means more throws, right?
Yeah.
And more throws in bad weather is always hard. And Brown also really relies on those blades over the top a lot, and those are really tough in these types of conditions.
You know, funny Kyle, that's what in 2019 when they were playing that so windy, and you know what? They just here we go. 14-12 Brown, Georgia. Oh, Jake Powell kicked it to himself. It's an 0 point for Georgia. Sweet. Interesting. Nice showmanship. Swings it over to 23. Swings to Chandler. Eli Chang on the mark for Brown. Krugler to Jake Powell. Umrick on the mark for Brown. Saul rising. They get the swing off. Nicely delivered. The wind has died down a bit. Zach Hoffman. Oh, that one pops up and it's caught by the tippy tip of the fingertip by Jake. Emmett on the mark. It's Miller with the disc. He's going to put it. He's going to put it, and it's too far.
Here it is. Brown opportunity for the win. This D-line has had a couple of opportunities, has not been able to make much happen.
And it's Eli Chang, the freshman, picking up at Nationals. Quarters on game point. He's got Adrian Lynn. And he's going to hit the reset, get it, and get the disc right back. He's got Emmett with him. He's also got a pointing Oscar Lowe, but swings it to Emmett. Great. And will Emmett send it? Nope.
What's key here for Brown, if they want deep looks, is they need to keep their stacks short because this is a tough upwind look. And they need to be starting shorter to create that space deep,
Oscar
so they can threaten.
Emmett to Eli. A couple of tight throws there. And a call? Call. 2:02 on the screen. Thanks for tuning in. It's 14-12. Brown is up on Georgia. Brown's D team has the disc. The rain has died down a bit. The wind is up and down. Brown is going upwind.
I'm not sure what the call is here. It looks like maybe all the way back here with Emmett is a travel call. So this may come out, or it's staying out here. It's overruled travel call.
Oh, and a yellow
card issued
to who? For
so
what?
Oscar? Was that to Oscar or was that to Georgia? For what? Do you know?
On the sideline.
I think the bid.
Like physical,
a little bit of a
like
backpack.
physical for a little backpack on the sideline on Oscar.
So the disc is going to stay with Zach Kaufman with no mark. Here we go.
You know you do. What?
some discussion about how to restart properly.
There's a lot of confusion. I don't really know. I mean, they try to tap it in themselves. I think that the Georgia player is blaming the observer, which not wrong. It should be clear for everybody. So Hoffman's going to tap the disc and start play again.
Here we go. We got the reset. We got the restart. Hoffman finds Eli. Eli breaks the mark to Emmett. Emmett's got Oscar. Emmett, a high release to Oscar. Great throw. Oscar thinks about it, holsters it. Oscar goes lefty to Emmett. Emmett points to Oscar, right back to Oscar. Oscar is unguardable right now. Emmett getting that, Brown's getting tough reset after tough reset. Emmett, Oscar, Eli.
These
makes
three
the
guys are
grab.
just crushing it.
And
off
it's
the
tipped,
hand.
and it's
Back to
picked
Georgia.
off by
off
Georgia,
Emmett's
and their
hands.
offense has it again. And here's the huck. No.
Holds it back, goes to the
Instead,
scooper.
goes with the scooper, sliding grab by 23. Zach Kaufman on the mark. Wow, Brown was that close to ending the game right there. And here we go. Georgia's across midfield. It's Scott with the disc, finding Powell to Aiden. Aiden, Georgia on the goal line now. Throw to the end zone, caught for the goal. Georgia scores.
Oh, that was so close on that upwind goal line, just off Emmett's hand.
Yep.
Georgia able to respond, but another hard hold for Georgia here, right? Like Georgia's not in everything out from outside here for Georgia's got to be on D, but that D line doing a great job. Fantastic offense on the turnover as well. And now Brown has it, 14-13, an opportunity to win on offense going downwind. Every point here is the most important point of your season.
Yep. Out there for Browns, the O-line, Elliott, Leo, Jason, Jacques, Luca, Henry, and Cal. Do or die here for Georgia on defense. They got to do it upwind.
Gotta love seeing Eli and Emmett and Oscar work that offense.
Oh, yeah.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was great stuff. They, tough reset after tough reset after tough reset all the way up the field. All right, folks, 14-13 Brown. Brown is receiving on offense. Going downwind, and Georgia has called timeout.
Wow, this is another trying to freeze the offense.
We saw this ice the offense strategy
offense.
last game. It didn't work out for Michigan. Maybe it'll work for Georgia. Brown's gonna play Duck Duck Goose.
That's a tool you have in your tool belt. You gotta use it. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about Brown's got a lot of talent this year, but watching Eli and Emmett and Jason play this weekend.
Yeah.
I think that the future is Brown is great at developing players, and if they have a couple guys who can play, who can just go out there and make plays and dominate an offense, and other guys who can fill in roles around, they're gonna be fine.
Yeah, it seems like they've got the handler talent to keep the dominator offense rolling.
Right, and I think there's some big freshman commits. I'm not exactly sure who they are, but I think we got some players coming next year who we know about, who are very talented.
2:23, 2:24 on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. It's 14-13 Brown. Brown's receiving on offense, going downwind.
And if you are a rising senior in high school and want to go to Brown, let us know.
Here we go. Oh, a short pull from Georgia. Little mistake there. Cal's gonna pick it up. Cal finds Jock. It's man defense. Jock to Leo as Brown crosses midfield. Leo's guarded by Aiden. Leo to Cal. Cal looking. Cal to Leo. Leo to Jock. Jock waves Leo. Now gets it to him. Pass it bidding 23 to Jock to Leo.
Leo's got
Jason,
steps, and they are
to
tired.
Leo.
They cannot keep up with Leo right now.
Yeah, Leo is.
Georgia is dogging it on defense right now.
Leo doing good stuff out there. Getting open on Georgia's Callahan nominee, Aiden Downey.
About 15 yards outside the end zone right now.
Don't know what the call is. Maybe a travel?
Maybe a travel. I haven't seen any hand signals. That would help.
It's been a pretty clean game, I would say. pretty good spirited for such a close, meaningful game.
Do you know what the call was?
Don't know.
I'm assuming it's a travel.
Here we go,
but
disc
I'm not
in. Leo
sure.
Gordon with the disc. Jacques slides. Leo hits Jason for the reset. Georgia's laying out all over the place now. Another stoppage as the game grinds to a slowdown here.
And there's a soft cap, which could possibly affect this game.
Here we go, disc in. Jason looking for Leo's got him. Leo on the sideline. Brown would like to get off the sideline, I imagine. Leo to Jacques, slides to make the catch. Jacques looking for Yut. Jacques to Yut. A lot of 2-yard throws past bidding Georgia defenders. Jacques gets it back. Brown going backwards, but here they go. Jacques to Leo to Jacques. Jacques looks. Jacques the blade to Cal for the win. Brown wins. Brown wins.
Semifinals. Brown with a huge upset here in the quarters. Brown putting their game together here against Georgia. By far the best game we've seen Brown just looking like a contender. I'm telling you, they look like a
Absolutely.
contender.
Man, people are stepping up too. I think that's the best game I've seen Leo play. A great game. Jason Tapper. How about Jason Tapper? And
How about Jason Tapper?
Yeah.
God. But Leo also, best game of the tournament for Leo. Oscar, man, all those guys playing. Oscar taking a tough defensive matchup against Aiden and just playing fantastically throughout.
And Georgia played well, but Brown's best players played a little better than Georgia's best players, and that was the difference, I think.
Yeah, I don't think that was a bad game from Georgia. I mean, there was not a lot of turnovers. They played hard, put a lot of defensive pressure on, and and Brown got a couple upbeat breaks as well, right? That first upwind break that Brown got.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was, let's be honest, there was some luck there too. Brown got the tip drill break, and that was a big one.
But this is the first time we've seen Brown defenders really laying out consistently and not even getting contact, but forcing turnovers.
Forcing turns.
Forcing turnovers by adding that a little bit of extra pressure. So great game from Brown. I am so pumped. We're going to the
I
semifinals.
am pumped. We're going to the semis. We're going to the semis. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We're going to end this stream. We'll be back up for the semis whenever and wherever they are. Goodbye.